up a firm called Next Generation Consulting. What do businesses want to know from you? They're looking for secrets. They want to figure out, okay, how do we retain these young folks? How do we keep them here that extra year or two?
Yeah.
What are they looking for from you?
It's interesting because when Gen Xers started to cycle through businesses every 18 to 36 months, that's when CEOs started to sit up and say, what is going on? And so a lot of companies have started to take the same approach to talent as they routinely take to product. I mean, if SC Johnson is going to roll out a new product, they're going to learn everything about the market and the consumer and so forth. So now CEOs are coming to us and saying, okay, on this talent thing, what's everything we need to know about young talent? So they want to know what motivates them, what will help them, what can we do to earn their loyalty, you know, those kinds of things. And in general, it boils down to 4 issues.
Okay, what are they?
Gen Xers want opportunities for growth. That's the first. This is in rank order. I just want to remind you and your viewers, this is in rank order. Opportunities for growth. Now, here's the divergence. Many CEOs think opportunities for growth means they have to promote them up that proverbial corporate ladder.
New titles,
New titles, more money. Exactly. But that's the baby boomer approach to what opportunities for growth is. For young talent, opportunities for growth might be, I want to take a lateral. You know, I came in here and worked in the TV studio, and now I kind of want to go see the radio part of the business. That's an opportunity for growth. Second thing that young talent really crave in a work experience, great managers and or mentors. You've probably noticed, you've got interns that cycle through here. If they are working for a manager that they can't identify with, they're more apt to leave. On the other side, sometimes you've got a great manager to which talent really gravitate, and if they leave, the talent go with them. So the new rules of engagement are that talent are loyal to the people, not to the organization. So, you know.
So there is loyalty, but it's not the traditional sense of loyalty.
Exactly, exactly. The third thing that young talent are looking for in a work environment are what we call tools, training, and technology. So, do they have the tools to do their job? If I had a nickel for every time a young person said, oh, Rebecca, I started my job on Monday, and 4 weeks later I got my computer passcode in my cubicle, and I found out who my mentor was going to be. Young talent want to hit the ground running in their job, so you've got to put those things in place. And the fourth reason that young talent leave is usually a shocker, because everybody thinks it's the number one reason. I bet you can guess it, money. Yeah. Young talent say, if you do numbers one through 3, that's 4. That's 4.
And that probably blows the mind of most corporate managers. They're thinking all along, no, it is about money. It is about the job title.
You bet. They think, if I just write a bigger check, I can buy their loyalty. Well, you can't.
Yeah. I saw you do surveys sometimes with people who do leave jobs, and you ask them those questions. And it really is crucial to them that they are treated with respect and that they feel like they do have a chance to grow. And were you surprised when you got those results back?
Well, I am an Xer, and I left corporate America for the same reasons that our survey participants tell us, so it wasn't surprising to me. What is so much fun is to see the light bulbs go off over the heads of managers who are maybe from a different generation than I am, who say, you know, no kidding, we don't have to give a signing bonus. We can just make sure that we respect them, and that's enough. You know, it's a light bulb moment for a lot of folks.
Right. Speaking of which, what is it like out there right now? Let's say you're young and you're fairly talented. I mean, the economy is not great right now. There was a time not so long ago where you could demand the foosball on the table and the bonus and everything else. Has it changed now because of the way the economy is going?
Yeah, I call it, sort of going on ice. We've been doing some focus groups around the country asking young talent how satisfied they are in their jobs. And the reason we ask this question is because the CEOs who used to be knocking on our door, calling on our phone, saying, help us, are now say, well, it's been taken care of. Nobody's leaving. So we're saying, has it been taken care of? You know, are talent being treated better in the workplace? 3 out of 4 Gen Xers say that as soon as the economy starts to uptick, they are out of there.
So they're just hanging in there and waiting for things to improve.
They're not happy. They're scared. You know, they're just a little nervous about the economy.
All right. Conversely, has it changed the way managers approach this? The fact that all of a sudden the labor supply, the labor pool is a little, larger. You've got more to pick and choose from. Maybe you don't have to do all the things that they want. I mean, is there that attitude out there?
I'm not sure about that. I would guess that attitude is out there, but here's what I can tell you the smart companies have done during this sort of micro-recession, or I think it's really a market correction. I mean, that's what we went through. The smart companies have said, we're maybe not going to be spending more money on talent acquisition at this point. We're going to just kind of keep all the seats and chairs that we've got right now. We're going to start to get smarter on how we keep these people. So what they did is they took this last 18 months as an opportunity to fine-tune their talent management practices, to make sure that young talent knew that there were opportunities within the organization, so that when the economy upticks, you don't have to leave to have another opportunity. You could stay right here and have all the opportunity you want. So the smart companies have looked internally at their talent management systems and tweaked them to make their organizations more, what I call, sticky for talent.
We're going to take another break. We'll be back with jobs, cool places, a lot of different stuff with Rebecca Ryan tonight. Speaking of hot jobs, what are the hot jobs? I mean, what do young folks want to do today?
Young folks want to use their minds. Increasingly, even the millennials are saying, when we ask millennials, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're not always saying a profession. They're saying, I want to be smart. I want to be smart. When we talk about being in a knowledge economy, that really translates for this generation. They want to be innovative. They want to be creative. And if they feel that they have the latitude to do that in almost any occupation, their level of satisfaction is pretty high.
I saw in your list when Milwaukee was in the number 10 spot of cool communities, the hot job was at Harley-Davidson.
Right.
I mean, does that resonate with the young people out there? They say, Harley, cool, interesting, want to work there.
I think Harley-Davidson for young talent was sort of a surprise, because Harley-Davidson outside of Milwaukee maybe has the patina of, one being a very highly branded company. What other company do employees and customers tattoo your logo on their body? I mean, that's some brand loyalty. But, Harley is really seen as a manufacturing company. But what we know is that even within manufacturing, upwards of like 48% of all jobs within manufacturing are jobs around innovation and engineering and design, and that's the stuff that young talent are like gaga about.
Now, do you find a clash, a culture clash in a lot of businesses where you have people who are, say, my age in their mid or upper 40s, or even people in their mid 50s, and now you've got people who are also coming in their upper 20s who have a very different way of looking at the world? Is there a culture clash out there?
There can be. And that's what some of our work is on the corporate side, is to sort of help translate between the generations, because, for example, baby boomer bosses might say to a young person, come on in and put in your time and you'll climb the ladder. Well, as I mentioned in a segment, a minute ago, the ladder is dead for this generation. They don't want to talk about a career ladder. They want to talk about a career web. They're not even sure that they want to be with you for the rest of their career. So some of the ways that the generations talk to each other causes conflict. It's not intentional. It's just that the way that people have talked about work for the last 40 years is different than this sort of free agent economy and the way that young talent talk about work.
Something else that's interesting, we have a more diverse workforce than we used to have. Diversity, I've heard this from other people, diversity they feel is a very, very key element in where young people will live.
Yes, it's absolutely true. And the best story I can tell you about this is we were in tiny little Carroll, Iowa, doing a focus group among young talent. Carroll has got a population of, I'm guessing, 12 to 15,000 people.
And probably trying to hang on to their young folks so that they don't leave for bigger cities or more exciting places.
You bet. So Carroll's trying to figure out what makes us cool, right? So we're in there with a focus group, and this could not be a more white bread community. So we're asking young talent, what's cool? Diversity comes up in little tiny Carroll, Iowa. So even in our smallest communities, young talent are talking about diversity. And when you look at some of the things that young professionals of Milwaukee are doing with their diversity cafes, I have a lot of hope. Baby boomers wrote the song, and Gen Xers hopefully are going to be able to instrumentalize it and sing it.
I'm going to take one final break.